Sivaya Nama, Tiruchitrambalam. Welcome back to our discussion on Sokkanatha Venba, verse number 82. Arum paasa nanmai thinmai agam அதன் மேல் விரும்பாது நிட்டையிலே மேவி திரும்பாத மானம் தா என் அறிவில் மாறாது பொங்கியழும் ஆனந்தா சொக்கநாதா. Today's verse comes in as another prayer song that we have to surrender ourselves to Lord Shiva on a daily basis. On a daily basis, when we are doing our puja, this must be one of our prayer, one of our offerings to Lord Shiva. In this, we need to understand one truth. If we decide to be a slave for someone, whom should we select as our boss? The moment you talk about ever permanent blessing, what would that be? These two questions points back to the same answer, which is to be a disciple, to be a devotee of Lord Shiva. Once I surrender myself to Lord Shiva, I'm going to be the most happiest person in this world. And if I decide that I have to be a slave for someone, it is going to be none other than Lord Shiva. Why? Because that is the only thing which is going to give me pride. So what is a pride for a soul? To say that we are a slave for Lord Shiva. That is very, very important concept that we are looking at over here. Now let's look at this. In order to understand and surrender ourselves to Lord Shiva, first eligibility is we need to constantly keep Lord Shiva's name in our thoughts. Are we able to do that? And we all know the answer, which is no. The reason is 5 minutes we are not able to sit continuously for meditation. 5 minutes we are not able to concentrate on something and do our work. 5 minutes we are not able to talk about something or listen to something. We don't have the patience nowadays. We are completely restless. We are completely getting carried away by unnecessary things that is around us, including all the social media and everything. So how are we going to keep Lord Shiva's thoughts and his name throughout in our thoughts, in our daily prayers? The only thing that can come in handy is when we get rid of our Arnavam, Kanmam and Maya. Is this something that is under our control that we could do it? Are we able to control what is there in our, take for example this body. The moment I sit continuously for 5 minutes, I start getting back pain, I start getting knee pain, I start getting, all sort of ailments that I'm not able to even sit continuously. Immediately I think about changing my posture or changing my place or whatever. I'm not able to sit continuously for 5 minutes. I feel like thirsty, I feel like I want to eat something, I want to, whatever. The moment you talk about the body, whatever we call it as Maya, everything that is coming in due to Maya is something which is beyond our capacity. That is the most obvious level. Subtler than that is karma. When we are not able to control something which is very obvious, how are we going to control something which is very subtle in nature? Karma is a little bit more subtler. In this we know there's good and bad karma. Can we get rid of our karmic deeds? No. Because every time we do something, either we take pride in doing it, because of that we get karma, or we start sulking over something that we have done, which is also going to give us karma. Subtler than karma is Arnavam, ignorance. Some of us are not even able to understand that in a theoretical manner. Forget about practicality. No one understands that in a practical manner. At least some of us, we know that there is something called as Arnavam. But when we start crying, do we realize that it is because of Arnavam that we are crying? When we are laughing out something loud, when we feel so proud about something, when we hate someone, when we have vengeance on someone, do we feel that we have ignorance in our thoughts? Do we know that it is all caused by ignorance? No. We just get angry. The anger comes in a jiffy. We don't even recognize anger is a side effect of our Arnavam. So which means more subtle is Arnavam, a little bit more obvious is karma, and little bit more obvious is our Maya. We are not able to get rid of these three. Once we get rid of these three and start meditating on Lord Shiva, always keeping his name and his thoughts in our thoughts, that is the only way to get us the pride of being Lord Shiva's disciple. This is what verse number 82 is all about. I'll come back again with the next verse very soon. Until then, Sivaya Nama, Tiruchitrambalam.